I am Lamarsha Lewis. Let's talk. Today is Tuesday, November the 24th, and our conversation will be about our President-elect Joe Biden. We will talk about his transitional senior staff. We will talk about the candidates in which he has named for his cabinet pits. And we will talk about Emily Murphy, who serves as GSA. We will talk about the young man, Kyle Rittenhouse, and we will talk about Trump. So, let's talk. Let's start off with giving you the names in which President-elect Joe Biden has chosen to be for the Biden-Harris transitional first senior staff. Anthony Brunel, he will serve as senior advisor to Dr. Jill Biden, who will be our First Lady of the United States. Mike Dillon will serve as senior advisor to the president, who will be President Joe Biden. Jen O'Malley Dillon will be Deputy Chief of Staff. Dana Remis will serve as counselor to the president. Jaleesa Reynolds Pantella will serve as Chief of Staff to Dr. Jill Biden. Steve Richmond will serve as counselor to the president. Cedric Richmond will serve as senior advisor to the president and the director of White House Office of Public Engagement. It needs to be noted that he currently serves as a representative in the House of Representatives for the state of Louisiana. He is a Democrat. Julie Rodriguez will serve as director of the White House of Office of Intergovernmental Affairs. Annie Tamias, director of the Oval Office Operation. And these are the person that has been announced to be on the Biden-Harris transitional first senior staff. To go on to who we have now found out who are the cabinet picks for the Biden-Harris administration. Anthony Blinken will serve as Secretary of State. And Gerald Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security. Linda Thomas Greenfield, United States Ambassador to the United Nations. A familiar name, John Kerry, Special Presidential Envoy for Climate. Avril Haines, Director of National Intelligence. Jake Sullivan, National Security Advisor. And these are the names in which we have currently heard that will be people in the cabinet for the Biden-Harris administration. Of course, we know they have to go through the background checks and things of this perspective, but these are the names that has been released, and we are going to welcome them with open arms to help President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris to serve our country and to do a well job for the next presidential administration. We have to throw our arms around them and give them our support call. What we have experienced in the past 4 years, let's welcome a new team and let's work to help them be able to do their job and do their jobs effectively, safe, into the betterment of all of us for our country. Next, I want to talk to you about Emily Murphy. She is the woman that is responsible for the transition process for the new administration whenever she was nominated by Trump in 2017, and the Senate basically approved, and she has served in the capacity of administrator of General Service Administration. She should have started the process a couple of weeks ago when we found out that President-elect Joe Biden would be the next president for the United States, the 46th president of the United States. But she, like so many others, has been quiet, trying to appease and not wanting to hurt the feelings of Trump, who has yet to acknowledge or yet to concede that he was not chosen for a second term. It was announced on Twitter. It was a topic trending on Twitter as well as many social media outlets on yesterday that she has finally given the given the consent to start the process for the next administration, which will be that of Joe Biden for president and Kamala Harris as vice president. And I just want to read to you this portion of her statement, of the letter that she had written. I saw this and I want to give the disclaimer. This was seen on CNN, so I will read what was a part of Emily Murphy's statement. I was never directly or indirectly pressured by any executive branch official, including those who work at the White House or GSA, with regard to the substance or timing of my decision. To be clear, I did not receive any direction to delay my determination. Emily Murphy, Administrator, U.S. General Service Administration. And again, that was shared with CNN as many other outlets and social media. Like I said, Twitter was sharing the letter in which she wrote. And as many has stated, she made it about herself, that she didn't have anyone. It was her that made this decision to go ahead with the process. But of course, we know that is not true statement. And also someone that could not help but chime in into always everything he does, give himself props, make it about him. Trump chime in. This is what he had to say. Now I am reading from what he tweeted on Twitter. It says, I want to thank Emily Murphy at GSA for her steadfast dedication and loyalty to our country. She has been harassed, threatened, and abused, and I do not want to see this happen to her, her family, or employees of GSA. Our case, when he capitalized this in all caps, strongly continues. We will keep up the good ... Well, I don't know. She may have received some threats. I will not say that she didn't. But this is at the hands of the person who wrote this tweet that I just read, which happens to be the current sitting president, Donald J. Trump. Because of him not being man enough to do what he should have done once we found out that Biden was the person who won the presidential election for 2020 and who will serve as the 46th president of the United States for the next presidential administration. Trump is sucking like a little baby, only playing golf, not still doing what he should be doing, which is being presidential. He's never been presidential. And he has to take, although he would never take responsibility, but he's responsible for this. If Miss Murphy and her family or her staff has received any threats, of course, no one should ever receive any type of threats or abuse. But we also have to be honest and truthful. If he would have just done what was needed and should have been done, none of this would even have taken place. It's about being accountable and accountability. And Miss Murphy herself needs to take on accountability, which just seems to be something she doesn't do as well. She's a attorney, and she has served in this role since 2017. So she knows what the roles and the responsibilities are. But like many people of the Republican Party, like Republican senators and just Trump base, refuse to acknowledge the truth, which is he lost. He lost the election. And the decision was by we the people when we went to the polls, when we casted our votes. And when the votes was tallied and the results were given, the winner of that election was President-elect Joe Biden. So those are the facts. I want to also talk about the young man, Kyle Rittenhouse. It was stated over the weekend how he had been released from jail or on bond. His bond was paid a $2 million bond. It was stated on social media, he was standing with his attorney and a famous celebrity by the name of Rich Schroeder, who played on Silver Spoon. That is the person that has been stated to have paid the $2 million or helped contribute to the $2 million that got this young man out of on bond, that has been accused allegedly, and we know we have to use the term allegedly because that's the way law prohibits us or has us to do. We have to use the term allegedly, that he went to Wisconsin. He lives in the state of Illinois, Illinois. He's 17 years old, and he was driven by his mother from the state, Antioch, Illinois, where they lived, to go to Wisconsin, where there was protesting going on, with many people just being upset with the current state of affairs, things that had happened to George Floyd and just black men, black people, the treatment of how police do black men, and just unfair treatment to blacks. So this young man took it upon himself to go to Wisconsin, and of all people, his mother drove a 17-year-old to this cross states. I don't know how many states they had to cross, but from Illinois to Wisconsin. I think she too bears responsibility to what took, because he allegedly killed 2 people and injured another person. This it's crazy, but these are the things that we are facing in our country, and we have celebrities that we grew up with, at one point in time, liking some of these celebrities, but when they grew up to be the adults and the real individual that they are, I see a different side of them, and that it saddens me, because I don't like the fact that there's a lot of racist people that were childhood celebrities. Now they're adults and they're showing themselves for who they are. Supports a 17-year-old crossing state lines where he should have stayed at home and mind his own business, but he crossed state line with his mother, of all people. I read where it was stated that he took his stimulus check and bought the guns. How crazy is that? That's what I read online, where he took his stimulus and bought the guns. That is just really crazy. And you have people like Ricky Schroeder that contributes $2 million for his bond. I remember when Scott Bell, when at Trump's inauguration in 2017, how he was like, he's ready for Trump to build the wall. I grew up liking him on Happy Days and remember him in his own show, Chachi. But now I don't like him. I don't support him because he's shown me who he is, which is a racist person, that he doesn't want immigrants to come to our country to better themselves, to have a better life for themselves and their families. That's what we're supposed to be about. Many people, this country was founded on immigration. People that traveled from various foreign lands, countries, entities to America in the hope, in the dream of a better life. What America represents, a better American, a better life for everyone. But you have people like Scott Bell that don't welcome that. So that changed my opinion about him. And I grew up watching the Brady Bunch. That I have all of the Brady Bunch CDs for all 5 seasons when they were on TV. I have the Merry Christmas DVD. So to find, and I saw where Cindy, who is Susan Olsen, real name. She played the character of Cindy. She was a Trump supporter, or is a Trump supporter. That changed my whole opinion upon her. I still love the Brady Bunch. I still love the work, the Bradys, and as I said, the Very Brady Christmas and all of that. But I no longer really care for Susan Olsen as the person of who she is, because you're a Trump supporter. And as I said, how can any woman support a man that, one, he's a cheater by cheating on all three wives? He berates women. He has no respect for women. So I can't support someone like that. I do not support, and I don't support people or have anything for people that do support Donald J. Trump, because he is a racist. He is a bully. He's a criminal. He's evil. He's corrupt. But I will talk about him later on. It's just appalling that a 17-year-old thought it was valuable for him to cross state lines and get involved in a protest that he shouldn't have been getting involved in. But I hold his mother more accountable, because she's his mother and she drove him. And now, allegedly, he's killed 2 people and injured another person. And you have celebrity paying $2 million for bail. That's just it's absurd and it's crazy. But we have to be aware of what's going on in our world and our country. And Trump, again on social media, he would never concede. At this point, and I think I've heard on some news outlets, we're just going to even, it just needs to even be stopped, anything stated in regards to Trump conceding, because it's apparent he's not going to. And at this point, forget it. Don't even worry about it, Trump. Don't worry about conceding, because I am grateful that Emily Murphy has seemingly started to do her job by signing off on giving the nod for the transitional process to begin, so that President-elect Biden and his team can get everything that needs to be done. He can now get the daily briefs. He can have the background checks for his cabinet picks and anyone that he needs or is wanting to be a part of the Biden-Harris team. That process has started. So I'm grateful, and as it's been stated, he does not need to meet with Trump or First Lady Melania. Does not have to give an invitation to Dr. Jill Biden, because they are no stranger to the White House. He has served for 8 years with the former President Barack Obama. He was the vice president, so he knows the White House well. He has lived in the vice president homes, so again, he can give all that needs to be given to Vice President-elect Kamala. President-elect Biden can give her what is needed. So they don't need anything from the Trumps. Only thing we're now waiting on the Trump, which are 51 days away, is to start packing and get ready to leave. He had said if he lost the election, we would never see him again. Hopefully that's true, but we know he's a liar, so therefore he's a liar. But it would be good if he would just go away, but of course he won't. That would be too much like right for him to go away peacefully. That's not who Trump is. He is still playing golf. He had a short, brief meeting today I saw on the news outlet and on social media, where he just said what he said very quickly and briefly and turned his back and walked away, because he can't face being questioned by the press, because he has yet to acknowledge that he lost this presidential race. He can't face the press, people that he gave the title enemies of the people, all so that his lies, his conspiracy theories can be believed, because he is nothing but a liar. He only cares about himself, staying in power. He's needing to stay in power so that he won't have to face the investigation that he will be facing once he is just a regular citizen once again. So this is what all of this is about. He withheld foreign aid to Ukraine because he was trying to get them to give him dirt on Hunter Biden at the time when President-elect Biden was running to be the president. He was trying to get dirt on Biden's son to basically try to hurt or discredit Joe Biden. He withheld federal aid. And this is why the House of Representatives, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, did the process to do impeachment, in which the House did impeach Trump. But the spineless cowards who are afraid to get called out and talked about on social media chose to allow him to stay in office. They didn't remove him. He should have been removed. But we, the people, we have removed him, and it would take effect January the 20th, 2021. January 20, 2021, we, the people, would do what the Republican senators did not do. We will remove Donald J. Trump. He called the COVID-19 a hoax. Oh, it'll go away. Like a miracle, it'll go away. It has not gone away. In fact, the cases are now spiking back up, increasing day to day. The numbers of COVID-19 is going back up. And Trump is still downplaying it. He's washed his hands of it at this point. He is not fit to hold the highest office in the land, the highest title in the land as president of the United States. He was never fit for that role, and he never honored it. He stood and took an oath when he was sworn in at his inauguration, and he did nothing but betray us. He did not respect being the president. He did not respect the office of the president. He did not respect us, the people of the United States. And I'm so grateful that people made their voices heard and did what was needed by going to the polls so that we can officially kick him out. We got 51 days to go. 51 days to it's being over and it's being done. Trump will go and Melania will go. Saw on social media yesterday where she welcomed the Christmas tree to the White House. We have not forgotten, because she is on audio. They can say whatever they want to say, because I know they have tried to dismiss it, giving their statements about it. We know Melania's voice. That was Melania Trump on tape saying that she didn't give a F about Christmas decoration. Give her an effing break when people want to call her out because she wore a jacket that said, "I really don't care," when she went to visit immigrant children who had been caged at the hands of her husband. She didn't realize she was being taped by her friend at the time. But that is the voice of her. So I'm ready for her to be gone. I'm ready for the Princess Barbie, Ivanka Trump, to be gone. Her husband Jared, the whole Trump clan. Donald J. Trump and Eric, when they on social media, Lara Trump, Kim, the girlfriend to Junior, Tiffany, all of them, ready for them to be gone. Because they all have encamped and become leechers because of him being the president to get their own personal careers and as well as continue to get rich off us, the American people. So we have 51 more days, and the Trump administration will be over and done. And this was done by we the people of the United States. So let's not forget. Let's stay focused and know, as Vice President-elect Kamala Harris stated, the work has just now begun. We have nominated them. We have chosen them, Biden-Harris, but the work has just begun, as we already seen, because Trump has not yet to do what he should do. Neither have many of the Republicans. They still sitting cowardly and spineless, back being silent. But history is taking notes, and this will not go unnoticed. This will be for future generations to remember the spineless people of the Republican Party. So let's stay focused. Let's do our part. Never sit silent or be complicit when something is wrong. We have to remember what the late Congressman John Lewis said: good trouble. When you see something, do something. When you hear something, we have to speak up, because too many have fought and died. The late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat, the late Elijah Cummings, who said he may be dancing with the angels. So it's so many have come before us, and we are here now. We have won one victory, but there are many other battles that is still yet to be won. The work remains. So remember to never be silent or complicit when there is work to be done. I am Lamarsha Lewis. Let's talk.